everyone. My name is Roger Evelyn. I am the chairman of the Buxton Neighborhood Democratic Council, and also for today's purposes, I'm the chair of the meeting. I'd like to first say welcome to everyone here. We're hoping to have a very fruitful discussion. And at your disposal this morning, we have representatives from the government here to interact with you, listen to your concerns, and also give you some feedback as to how you can proceed with your issues. I know that many of you would have pressing issues, but would you please comply with the rules of the discussion? We will have a microphone that will be moving at that point in the program. But without further ado, let me introduce you to our panel. At the extreme right, we have Honorable Minister Crow, representing the Ministry of Housing. Right after him, we have another Honorable Minister, representing the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports. That's Honorable Member Buxton. We also have Honorable Minister and Bishop Juan Edja. We have our AG, Honorable Anna Mandela. Of course, you know the Prime Minister. We have him here today as our speakers. We have as well from the Ministry of Health, Minister Frank Anthony. We have Ms. Onej Walden from Ministry of Tourism, and also within the Ministry of the Prime Minister, we have Honorable Member Mr. Collins. And last but not least, my minister for my area, Minister Darlan. Please, at this time, I'd like to open it. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to Mr. Namalal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Prime Minister, Acting President, Mr. Mark Phillips, my other Honorable, my other colleagues of Cabinet, respected elders, officials of the government of Guyana, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends. Let me, on behalf of the entire head table, echo the sentiments of welcome already expressed, and today, hopefully, we will have a very constructive engagement out of which important decisions can be made that will affect the lives and livelihood of this community and many neighboring communities. Let me begin by saying that our government is one that believes in community engagement and in taking governance and government to the people. We have done this in every region in our country, and we have done this in different communities within the different regions of our country. So I see it being peddled that this is an isolated visit, and I want to, from the beginning, reject that contention. You know that we have been in the community of Buxton constantly since we have assumed government from August the 2nd, 2022. Many of our ministers, many of them here, Minister Ramson, Minister Darrell, Prime Minister, myself, our Minister of Agriculture, we have been in this community. I have walked with you to clean Buxton. We distributed kite in Buxton. The President himself came here and launched that and spoke to you a couple months ago. So this is not an isolated incident. We have a track record of a relationship that we have created in this community, as we have done in other communities, and we intend to intensify this relationship and to bring fruits from this relationship. Secondly, we are not also oblivious to the fact that there have been recent incidents on the east coast of Demerara of national concern. We are not oblivious of the violent conduct which have taken place across certain villages on the east coast of Demerara. We are also not unaware that today some day of protest was planned in Buxton. And we decided to come here as we would normally do, also because of that incident. Because the President led the charge when the incident culminated with violence at Monrepo. The President, the head of our government, came to Buxton and engaged Buxtonians. And we are here notwithstanding and because of those incidents, and because we need to engage you and to intensify our engagement with you, we are here again. We are also here to provide information, update to you in relation to the incident that is believed to have triggered the violence to which I make reference. I say that to you up front because I want a candid interaction. We want a candid and frank discussion because only if we talk the issues of our country thoroughly, honestly, and frankly, then we can find true, real, and lasting solutions to the problems. And that is what I hope this engagement will bring forth. So, as you know, we had informed you and the people of Guyana that the Police Complaints Authority, which is the authority designated by the law to investigate the conduct of policemen in this country, was in charge of the investigation into the shooting to death of Quindon Mathers. We assure you that that is a statutory process over which the government has no influence or control. And we pleaded with you and Guyana to allow the system to work as contemplated and provided for by the law. The President had given a commitment that the report would be out by Monday. Last night, the report was made, a statement was made public by the chairperson of the Police Complaints Authority, by which the nation was informed that charges are recommended in respect of the shooting implicating 3 persons, all members of the Guyana Police Force. The statement also informed you that the next step of the legal process will be activated, and that is that report and the file will be transmitted to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, who will then advise on the institution of the relevant charges after that officer would have reviewed the report and the file. That is also another independent institution under the Constitution over which government and politicians have no influence whatsoever. I can assure you that that office holder has begun work since yesterday on the matter, and some public disclosures in relation to the charges that are recommended or would be recommended will be made public later today. So the system installed by the law is at work, and charges are forthcoming in relation to that shooting. And that is all we are asking in the government for, that you don't act precipitatively, you don't act unlawfully, and you don't fall prey to instigation, to incitement, and to encouragement to do unlawful and illegal acts. I want to take this opportunity also to thank the law-abiding citizens of this community and all the communities on the east coast of Demerara that who rejected out of hand the very persuasive and tempting incitement and encouragement to which you were subject by elements who wanted to create greater disaster and greater mayhem and greater violence on the east coast of Demerara. I am aware that they stopped at almost every village on the east coast of Demerara, including Buxton, and they tried to bring you out on the road to join them in their conspiracy of fiery lawlessness. And you withstood the temptation, and you rejected their attempt to ensnare you in that unlawful enterprise. I also want to assure you, as law-abiding citizen, I know you would like to see the law being applied with full force and effect in relation to those who violated the law so wantonly during that exercise. I want to assure you that the law will be applied with full force and effect, because that is the duty of the state, to maintain law and order within the realm of this country, and to ensure that every single citizen is protected from criminality and protected from illegality. And the state will not falter in that duty. That being said, I would like to encourage you to raise all the issues of concerns that you have, both in relation to what I said regarding the incident on the east coast of Demerara over the past week, as well as issues that are affecting your community, because that is the main purpose of this exercise. And that is why we have such a broad-based panel here, comprising of various ministers and public officers within the various ministries, so that we can adequately, or as far as possible, try to answer the issues that you raise and as they relate to the various ministers and ministries who are here. Once again, I want to thank you for being part of this engagement, and I will pause here for the time being. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. you very much for those comments, Minister Nandula. I'd like now to invite Dr. Frank Anthony, Minister of Health, for some comments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Mark Phillips, Prime Minister, and performing the duties of President, Cabinet colleagues, friends all. I'm extremely happy to be here at this meeting and at this ground, because the last time I was here, a couple of years ago, we had a very exciting football match here. And I recall getting persons from this community and from some other communities on the East Coast, and we were able to have this exciting football match. And you know, one of the things that that match brought out is that we have so much in common, and that when we play together, we ignore all these other things that people would like to use to divide us. And we need to have many more of those types of activities, many more, because we share so much in common that we need to use that to mold ourselves together, because this country needs us all to work together for our common aspirations. Apart from what my colleague Minister Nandula would have said, we are in very, very exciting times. We now, for the first time, have resources that can take this country to another level. Much of what maybe our ancestors dream about, but never had the resources to accomplish. We are on that trajectory now for development. And when we look on this East Coast, there's so much that is going to be happening. So much. I can speak about health. And when we think about health on the East Coast, we have so much developmental plans. For the first time, we are going to build a regional hospital on the East Coast, so that no longer people would have to go to Georgetown to get a surgery done. It would be done right here on the East Coast. And the construction of that hospital would start in another 2 months' time. And when we finish the hospital, it would have a modern accident and emergency. It would have new labs. It would have 75-bed inpatient facility, 2 modern theaters. It would have an imaging suite that would have CT scans and digital x-rays and everything that you need to practice modern healthcare. So instead of going to Georgetown, you can come to this regional hospital. Not only that, we know that a lot of people on the East Coast, that one of the illnesses that affect you would be diabetes. And many of the older persons who are sitting in the audience, one time or another, can say that they suffer from diabetes. We are going to build, and we have already started to build, a diabetic center that is going to be a one-stop shop, meaning that everything relating to diabetes, you will be able to go there and get all the advice and all the treatment that you need. So whether you need to come in and get nutritional advice, that would be given. If you need to go and check your eyes, it would happen right there. If you have, for some reason, you have some sore that is not healing, you would be able to get treatment right there. And as I speak, we are putting the finishing touches to that facility. And before the year is over, we'll be able to open that facility right here on the east coast of Demerara, so that care can be improved. And there are many, many other things that we can look at. We have started to do a lot of new work at the Georgetown Hospital. And we are going to renovate the hospital so that we can do a lot of more complicated and sophisticated surgery. In addition to that, at Ogle, we are also in the process of setting up a 256-bed hospital. This is going to be for children who will have all kinds of complications that you cannot manage them in the regular facility. So this is for high-risk children and high-risk mothers. Some of you would know from time to time we would see that there are children who would need special services. For example, they would need cardiac surgery, but we cannot provide that type of surgery at the Georgetown Hospital. We once had a cardiac program, pediatric cardiac program, at the Georgetown Hospital. But unfortunately, over the last couple of years, that program was dismantled. We are now rebuilding that program. And when we finish this new hospital, one of the services that would be provided would be pediatric cardiac surgery for any child that requires such surgery. And of course, it will be free of cost. And while we talk about the East Coast, similar things are happening in every region of our country. Every single region. And apart from looking at all of that, we also want to make sure that persons who are sick with HIV can get access to treatment. Persons who are at risk for HIV can get testing. Persons who are sick with other illnesses can get testing. And look at what we have been able to accomplish with COVID-19. If we weren't fast in giving out vaccines, if we weren't fast in making sure that we have places when people get sick that we can care for them, then a lot more people would have gotten sick and a lot more people would have died. But because we invested, because we made sure that we put the money to help the welfare of our people, we are seeing these results. This government would like to see people live long and healthy lives. And the only way we will be able to do that is to make sure that we have world-class health care. And that is what we are aiming to deliver. And in every sector, all my colleagues sitting at this table here, each one of them can get up and talk about what they are doing in their sectors, because we want to lift this country and the quality of life for every single Guyanese. That is what we are about. And so, what we need to do is we need to come together in our villages, in our streets, in our community, to make sure that we are able to take advantage of the opportunities that are now becoming available to us. There's no reason why a child should not go to school today, because we have nursery, primary, and secondary school. And those who want to access additional forms of education, there also that is available in terms of the Gold Scholarship. There's no excuse why people should not have a good education, none whatsoever. And this is across the board. What we need is for people to take advantage of these opportunities. And there are many, many other things. So today, if you don't know about these opportunities, today is a day when we can react and interact and make sure that when you leave here, you understand all the different government programs that we have and how you, as a citizen of these communities around here, can take advantage of them. And we have a lot of technical people in your midst. so that we can align you with these technical people so that you can know where to go and how to access these types of services. What we are doing here today, and as Anil would have said, it's not only here. We want to go to every community and talk to people about these opportunities, because this is very, very exciting times for this country. We are going to be the leaders in many areas in the Caribbean. And right now, a lot of people are looking at Guyana to see what we are doing, how we are doing it, so that they can follow us. What we need is more unity in our community. What we need is for us to gel together to achieve this vision. You know what they said, the old saying? One hand can clap. You need both hands to clap. And if we are going to achieve these dreams that all of us have, if we are going to make this country better, if we are going to make it more prosperous, then all of us will have to clap together. And when we do so, we will be able to achieve all those dreams. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister, for those words in advance. I'd now like to invite some comments from Minister Edgell.
Honorable Prime Minister, performing duties as President, Premier retired Mark Phillips, my cabinet colleagues at the head table, NDC Chair, my respected elders, and I would like to highlight our young people who are in our midst this morning. I think we need to give them a big round of applause, all of you that are here this morning. It's certainly a joy to be here with my colleagues to share in this consultation. And I'm sure all of you are aware I'm no stranger to Buxton. I was here last night worshiping with you. So I'm glad that we could be together in this meeting today. But from the standpoint of development, there is a well-known fact that two things go together. They call them the inseparable twins: peace and development. Peace and development could never be separated. In order for people to invest, work, and put things in place, they need an environment where they could come and work. For example, when we were doing a road in this area not so long ago, I myself had to come and calm some things down because people were very concerned about what is happening. And that communication, understanding that lends to good environment and promotes development is what is important. By no means any one of us should dismiss today's event as tokenism. My colleagues have already addressed it. This is very important. You have an opportunity today to be heard. Some people would say, Minister, we're trying to reach you. The many of the ministers here. Today you have an opportunity to reach them. To say what is your issue. The other thing that I want to emphasize is that development in Guyana has been taking place in a non-discriminatory manner. When we came to government, in my sector, public works, everybody here have a road that needs to be fixed, I'm sure. And while Minister Zulfikar is working with you On the drainage and irrigation side, sorry he's not here today, but he's been doing a lot of work here to support the farmers and getting you to the backlands. One of the big issues is access to your farms, and when you get your produce, access to markets. But you could look and you could see the development deficit was so huge across the country when we came to office that what we did, we engaged communities, and in every community we started to do some work. And we're forced to admit more needs to be done. And we have to find ways and means of ensuring more. I can give you an example. When we were finished fixing the main highway that is now developed, we had some savings at the end of the project. The government of Guyana added in another $600+ million along with monies that were saved on that project. And what we did, we call them connector roads. So rather than just doing the main highway all the way up to Belfield, we started doing roads in villages that will connect to the main highway. Buxton was a beneficiary of that. Church of God Road was able to go all the way out to the seawall. We were able to do other roads all the way to the railway embankment. And I know the concerns that were raised. We want to see roads beyond the railway embankment being fixed. But we were able to do that. Through the NDCs, we consulted, and we were able to do work in the NDC. And there is more to be done. Just last week, when we signed an international contract, I went through the whole work, what we did in Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, and Region 4. We don't just treat Region 4 as a broad area. East Coast, East Bank, and Georgetown. And East Coast is slated for special attention in terms of infrastructural development, roads, bridges, and the rest of it. But one of the good things that I could highlight to you is that we are seeking right now to upgrade the entire railway embankment from David Street, Kitty, Sheriff and David Street, Kitty, all the way out to Elmore. And one of the things that we are doing is that we are replacing the aqua panel bridges, or the steel bridges. And we want to be able to open up the railway embankment for greater traffic flow, because that is to complement industrial development that is to take place on the East Coast, which will provide real employment for people of the East Coast. You will recall that we engaged a local company to put infrastructure in place to support oil and gas on the East Coast. And that is because we wanted to ensure people from the East Coast get jobs, including Buxton. To facilitate that kind of a traffic, the haulers and all the other things that will be part of that, we need to upgrade the infrastructure. So even in the morning, if there's a bottleneck of traffic, we'll be able to have other alternatives and access. So we are doing the main roads, we're improving the village roads in conjunction with the RDC and the NDC, because the RDC also has a roads program that they are doing, which we sign off to and we support. The NDC is doing some maintenance work, but at the national level, we also want to do that on our miscellaneous roads program. On the East Coast, our miscellaneous roads program for 2022, and that's all the NDCs in 2022. The Gant industry all the way up to Mahika is about $2 billion that we'll be doing in work in villages. And some of you would have seen the roads that are already advertised in the newspapers calling for contractors to bid, and that process is ongoing. farm to market access roads in support of the Ministry of Agriculture, and drainage and irrigation. We are continuing to work with them. Because ultimately, like I said in the budget speech of 2022 when I spoke, you can't eat roads, but roads make you eat. And what the Fanani-led administration is seeking to do is to provide opportunities. Yes, we have to come in, help vulnerable groups, and that's what we'll be doing. That's what we have been doing, whether it's a children's grant, helping small businesses, working with pensioners, increasing welfare for single moms, and so on. But when you provide an opportunity where you can expand your farm, get your furniture shop going, get your black plated enterprise going, so the truck will come in and deliver the sand and the cement, and the people will come and buy from you, or you can open your bakery, or whatever the situation that you've been doing, we have to be able to give you access. And the building of roads, drainage, and bridges are important. All of you know when the road body taxi man want 3 times the fare to get in there. And that has been a complaint. And even when you own your own car, you just come and tell me, the front fender get knocked off, the wheel bend, you got changed, spring so much. So getting access is what is important. And I want to let you know today, as part of this outreach, and we could say that clearly, our commitment to you and every village on the East Coast and all the people across the country, rural, urban, or hinterland, is that we want to be able to put in place that infrastructure to ensure that development takes place. What we need is that communication, that dialogue, peace that will promote development. And when the economic pie expands and there is greater development and we all could get more, we could be able to have a stable environment. So I would like to just make these few comments, and I want to thank you all for coming out in your numbers today. Thank you, Buxton. Thank you for participating, and thank you for engaging. And we look forward, just like we did in South Georgetown, where my colleague, Minister Kroll, led that engagement, where there is active engagement with the people of South Georgetown to work in advancing their own development. We look forward for that engagement with the people of Buxton today. Thank you all, and God bless you very much.
Thanks for your comments. I know all of us are anxious to get to the portion of the agenda where you can have your queries answered. But just before that, can we get some comments from the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Phillips?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
Thank you to the people of Buxton for coming out in your large numbers this morning. Give yourself a round of applause. Today is the day to discuss development for Buxton.
That's right. That's right.
And if you're talking development, we have to do away with the detractors of development. I have listened last night, almost all night, to the detractors who wanted to derail the session today. And your turnout is sending a strong message to the detractors who never wanted this to happen. Give yourself another round of applause. This will happen in every village on the East Coast, every village on the West Coast, every village in the hinterland, all over Guyana. We are going out and meet you in your community. No longer will we depend on social media. Let them stay in their foxholes and use social media to detract us, and they will not succeed. Whether the foxhole is located in New York or somewhere on the East Coast here, as a government, as a people, they must not succeed. And you know why? Now is the time for development in Guyana. And Buxton will not be left out. No village in Guyana will be left out of the development. And that is one Guyana. When we say one Guyana, we talk about development for all the people of Guyana, wherever you are. And we don't care who you're voting for. And if I sound emotional this morning, forgive me. Because I believe that now is the time for us, as a people, with a resource that is giving us the revenue that we never had before, to bring development for all the people of Guyana. We cannot delay development. Don't let us allow anybody to divide us. This is a democracy. They have a voice. They can go on social media, they can talk as much as they want. But don't let them divide us. Let us keep focused, people. You know, the PPP government from 1992 to now has always put forward a people-centered development plan for Guyana. We struggled. We had to deal with detractors before. But you know what? From 2019, we start harvesting a resource known as oil and gas. And that has given us revenue that we never had before. And this government has decided that with that revenue, we will transform Guyana together with the people. All our programs are people-centered. Last week, or earlier this week, the President talked about the Gas to Shore energy program. That is a people-centered program. That is a program that will result in cheaper electricity for all Guyanese. That is a program that will help us to get electricity to all the underserved and unserved areas of Guyana. Cheap gas is coming from that program too. To the point where it will be so cheap that you come by 2025, when you buy your bottle of gas, you will consider it free. It will be so cheap. Yes, dream, and it will become a reality. That is what's going to happen to Guyana. Electricity for all of us, and we will be paying half the price that we are paying now. That is a people-centered energy program. Buxton will benefit from it. All the villages all over Guyana will benefit from it. And you know what? The savings from that program will help us to reach all the remote and hinterland areas to deliver similar electricity power for all those locations. People of Buxton, you have a glorious history. I'm a student of African Guyanese history. And as I told the people at Golden Grove only 2 days ago, all the books on African Guyanese history, I will have read all those books. Buxton is an example, an exemplary village coming out of the post-emancipation village movement. This was a village that set an example. This was a village with many educators, including your parents. Many educators were produced by this village, and they educated people throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. They even migrated and educated people overseas. So what we are doing here today is to talk development for Buxton. Development for all the villages in Guyana. But we choose Buxton to start this process because we know Buxton. We know of the history of Buxton. We know of you, the people of Buxton. Once you're united, and once you remain united, you could lift not only your village, but all the neighboring villages and be an example to all of Guyana. And that's why we're here. To start this discussion on development. And it will leave here with us, and it will go to all the other villages. I could keep on talking. He wants to talk, and I want to give him the mic. Come, please.
As Buxton goes, so goes the country. Come on, let me hear you. I want you to say, I want to hear it from you. As Buxton goes, so goes the country. This was a saying that went all the way back to 1952. At Contemporary Hall, that Buxton was the leader of this country back then. And I'm hoping that we are here to ensure that when we pass away, we have left something to the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for validating everything I said just now. And let the development begin. Let us start the ball rolling with the discussion. Now is the time for you to talk, people of Buxton, because as you heard just now, as Buxton goes, so goes the country. This is a country that is embarking on a process of transformative development for all the people of Guyana. One Guyana. So, Buxton, let's hear you now. Thank you very much.
Yes, with that, we are now at the public engagement portion of the exercise. We will have someone with a microphone. I can see someone requesting a microphone over there.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Mark Phillips and the rest of the colleagues. We welcome you to Buxton. Now, I have a few issues. I'm a single parent of 3 children, and they don't have the father passed away. I've applied for land at housing since 2011, and they keep going, and they keep renewing, and sometimes we can go here, then go back and so. And I keep asking, I try to apply at Food for the Poor to get a house. And because I don't have the land, I cannot get the house. And they keep putting me on and on and on. I asked to speak to the minister at housing, and nobody, they only give me date. That is one of my issues. The other issues I have is that since I'm a single parent and I'm trying, I would like for you guys, please assist me in opening a little business, maybe a livestock business, something to do. Since we know that you're trying to sell on the embankment, which is illegal, also, and they need to move it and stuff. If you can assist us in opening business as young people out there, right? To develop ourselves, especially single mothers, right? Because we need the help. We need the help. The next thing is that with the school voucher, right now cost of living is very, very high. It is so high that simple finding food for the children to go to school tomorrow, you wake up and you wish you never wake up, right? And we see, I saw it on social media, they're saying that I think they're saying that they would like to raise the money, right? And now I hear they're saying nothing about it, and we wish if you could help raise it because gas is expensive, taxi fare to send the children to school, food stuff. With the farm, we can't plan because I have a farm in the back down. The road is terrible. The road is so terrible that sometimes you left, you take for 3-4 hours to reach in the back down. And we don't have a proper road, right, to go in and go out and produce. Right now the place is very bush because we can't go because of the rainy weather. So we are asking for this assistance. The next thing is that we were made to understand that you would have assistance in a feeding program for the children children, because some of the children cannot afford to get breakfast at home because of the situation that we are experiencing right now. And we just wishing you could put that in power for us to get hospital September. That's the top two. And that is our thank you guys.
Yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen. Ministers of the government Minister of the government and honorable guests and onlookers, spectators. My name is Lyndon Phillips. Coincident that I have the same title as Mr. Mark Phillips, Minister of Sports. I have met him a couple of times. And my concern is I'm in the sporting fraternity. I'm an IAAF level 1 certified coach, and I operate in this area here, Buxton. And I'm also a Buxton descent. My concern is for development of our youth. And there are many children here that is under my watch. Can some of you stand to your feet for me, please? And you have some out there. So I'm in charge of these little ones, trying to mold them and bring them in the right way, you know, inspire moral values to these young ones. But then again, limited in resources. That's a gross concern for me. We have a jumping pit across there where we need some sand, and if we can get a little upgrade of our field, you know, because we are looking at it, we see the global state that it is in. So I am here to help, and I would be happy if someone would recognize me. I'm trying to get into Buxton School to be a PE teacher. But then, yes, I have some great opposition. Might not see me fit to be here. But I think I'm an asset that can be used to help these children because they need help. And I visited the school a couple of times, and I see a need where I can make a great contribution. So that's not only Buxton School, but the school linked to rid of the East Coast. So I would be grateful for the ministers to recognize what I'm doing, and I am doing it voluntarily. Not be paid for it, but I just use my time to help these children. So again, minister and my family, I don't even. But we're gonna check that link. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. So again, I want to thank all of you at Minister of Sports. Remember me. Remember me. Right? Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to your support.
PXX 6544. Can you please move your vehicle? PXX 6544. You're blocking some important stuff that has to come into the venue.
I think before we go to the next question, we can have the telephone number, like the telephone number. We left the center, and I know the one, I don't know, Mr. Brown wants to speak now. Can you just pick up the telephone?
Yeah.
So Mr. Brown will speak on front of Mr. Brown. Because I know I came here with an invitation with Mr. Brown, and I see the lights up. And the lights are still on in the daylight. So I know a lot of work is starting under Minister Charles Ramsey. So Minister Rose and Minister Ramsey.
All right, good morning, everyone. I thought it best that I speak early so that we don't have some of your comments or some of your requests that you have repeating themselves. And so let me make this general comment first, and then I'll give some explanation. For those of you who are here in relation to land application matters, and these are persons who have applied and you're waiting, you're a pending applicant, then it's no sense that you all get up and repeat yourself. The Ministry of Housing team is here. They will ask them to congregate in one area. They're in there, they're light blue jerseys. So what they will do for those of you, listen carefully so that we can have some order. For those of you who have pending applications and you're here in relation to that, all you need to do is give them your name and the contact number. Alright? And so we will have our follow-up and everybody will be contacted following this meeting. But don't go to them now so we can have some order. Just hold. We just want some order. But it will be remiss of me though if I don't speak a little quickly in terms of what we're doing with land allocations and land program on the East Coast. The reality is, for my friend, the system also has to work. When we got into office, there were 70,000 pending applicants in our system. As it is now, there are 83,000 pending applicants. Now you realize I can't see 83,000 people every day, right? So the system has to work. But what has happened? On the East Coast itself, in under 18 months, when you take into consideration areas such as Bladen Hall, Strathspey, Vigilance, right nearby here, La Reconnaissance, on the East Coast, since in under 18 months, we have allocated over 2,600 to 2,600 persons on East Coast. So it's not a case that we have not been allocating, but we have to do that in a macro context of achieving 50,000 as a government in these 5 years. What else is happening? We are currently finalizing lands because we have to do this in conjunction with Guyana Lands and Survey Commission as well as Gaisuku. So you have, I don't want to announce the names of the areas now, but we have thousands of lands, thousands of acres that will be available for future allocations on the East Coast. That will include starting as early as next month. And so there will be opportunities. Just have patience, and all who are there and who are active will be dealt with. In addition to that, when we look at housing, it would be remiss of me also not look in the context of the job opportunities that come with housing. So in all of those 2,600 that I just mentioned to you that we have allocated, you have billions of dollars in infrastructure work that is taking place. Many of whom the labor force comes from right here, from Buxton. I know this as a fact. Even if you go to East Coast, to East Bank, you have transportation services that are provided by the contractors to take the persons. In addition to that, as part of the employment opportunities that will be abound for East Coast will be from the infrastructure connection that was mentioned by Minister Edgell. And then you also have the hub of industrial commercial activities that will take place right within the Elmore Falls land area. That will see again thousands of jobs opportunities for persons from Buxton as well as on the East Coast. So I thought I should make this general comment early so we can understand that we don't necessarily repeat ourselves. And the team is here, and you just go to them and give them your name and your number. Because once you have applied, we have you in the system. All right? So I hope I've assured you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Prime Minister. Thank you for coming to my home. I live 2 houses away from this playfield. My name is Lyndall Abrams. I'm a teacher. I taught at Company Road Primary School, and I taught at Edward Government School. I migrated and I live in Florida now. I'm home on holiday, and I follow all of you. Mr. Nandla, there is Nadir. All right. And you are very intelligent. I want you to know that Buxtonians are also very intelligent. I myself, I have 2 postgraduate degrees. And I want to ask you, what plans do you have for people like me who is getting ready to come back home? And as you can see, I'm still young. Mr. Nandla, how are you, sir? I respect you a lot, sir. You're very intelligent. And I like your arguments. Very intelligent. But I want to ask you a question about, we talk about unity and so on. But a key word is equity. Equity. I believe that if everyone here feel like they're a part of what you're doing, you will get 100% support. For example, we talk about One Guyana, and I'm for that. I wish the day when we have just one political party in Guyana. I wish for that. Okay? Now, I want to ask you, Mr. Nandla, what do you think about the system in America where you have a grand jury who decides who is indicted or not, instead of having the DPP making the decision who is indicted or not? What? I want to hear your views on that, sir, because remember, I respect you and you're a very intelligent person. And one more thing. You said the NDC, is it? NDC is here. Where's NDC? Okay, sir. Now, the Middle Street from Watson Street there comes into the back of my place. The Middle Street did not go all the way. Okay, it stopped halfway. And so we got 2 quarters. I'm in the front quarter, my brother's in the back quarter, and he doesn't have any access. They have a car to come in, and the car cannot get all the way to our property. So I would like to know what can be done about that. I mean, a whole street is better than half street, right? Okay. So Mr. Nandla, I would like to hear your response on that, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Good morning. I would like to direct my comments to the Minister of Sport. Just wait, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Am I being heard? Yeah. Thank you very much, first of all, for your kind compliments. And let me assure you that every single day our government is working to establish a system of governance that is fair, equitable, and embracing. Every law that we pass must pass that litmus test of constitutionality. Our Constitution guarantees equal treatment to all, irrespective of ethnicity, religion, class, creed, geographic location, or any form of differentiation. Our Constitution protects every single Guyanese from discrimination of every type. That is why, if you look at yesterday's newspaper, I wrote a letter in response to Mr. David Patterson, Member of Parliament, in which the opposition wanted us in the local content law to discriminate against classes of Guyanese for the purpose of qualification under that law. And I explained in that letter that we refuse as a matter of policy to discriminate against any form of Guyanese, but more importantly, our Constitution ensures that we cannot do so. For if we are to do so, the law will be unconstitutional. We have passed the local content law, we have passed the Natural Resource Fund law to protect Guyanese in the petroleum sector. We have heard a lot about the new revenue stream and the abundance of revenue that will flow from this sector. Because we want an equitable distribution of benefits from this sector, and because we want to protect Guyanese in this sector because it's a new sector, and if we don't put these protections in place, we can have the sector overrun by foreigners at the expense of Guyanese. We have put two important pieces of legislation in place to protect Guyanese, to ensure the equity and equality to which you are referring. And that policy and principle can be found in all of our policies and in all of our legislation. So that's the first thing. Secondly, we cannot assume in this country that the government is partisan. One of the problems that we have in Guyana is that we are imposing on ourselves belief that is not founded in fact and in reality. So there is some belief that because you have not voted for the government is not for you. I want, on behalf of the government of Guyana, to reject that notion fully and comprehensively. So you can't stay in Buxton and believe that because we may not have won Buxton's election, that we are not for Buxtonians. We are here because we are for Buxtonians as we are for every Guyanese living in every community across the world. So, thirdly, I would like to get your CV so that we can, if you said you have 2 postgraduate degrees and you would like to participate in the public sector. We have vacancies for qualified people and we will induct you into the program based upon your qualifications. Alright? In terms of the question you asked about indictment by the grand jury, now the American legal system is different from ours. We are a descendant from the English legal system, and we are part of the English Commonwealth, consisting of 50 countries across the globe. We inherit a legal system that is common in these 50 countries. The entire Caribbean, the entire Commonwealth, most of Africa, Australia, India, Sri Lanka, the whole Pacific Coast, New Zealand, and the entire English-speaking Caribbean and England have a common legal system that determines how we determine guilt and determine how charges are investigated, charges are instituted, and charges are prosecuted. Alright? The system is not perfect, but it is regarded as perhaps the most perfect system man-made in the world. That is the beauty of the British legal system. Now, it doesn't mean that we are not developing our system as our jurisprudence grows, because we are a sovereign country and we must tailor our laws and tailor our legal system to meet the idiosyncrasies and peculiarities of our society. Only recently, for example, you will have seen that the CCJ ruled that the power of a DPP to instruct a magistrate to reopen a PI and commit the accused when the magistrate has discharged the accused, the CCJ said that that power of the DPP is unlawful. We are now in the process of amending our law to correct that deficiency because that is our supreme law. That is our Supreme Court, our highest court. And if that court says that the thing is wrong, then we have to comply with that. That is what the doctrine of separation of powers say. So we are developing, as other Commonwealth and Caribbean countries are, in shaping and crafting a legal system that best suits our country. It's a work in progress, and every one of these interactions will inform the policy direction of our government as we move forward. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, we have 3 vehicles blocking the gate, please. We would kindly ask if persons can move these vehicles. PAC 5171, PLL 4615, and PPP 557.
Pleasant good morning to each and everyone. I must say, I'm happy to see the ministers then come out in their numbers to hear the voice of Buxtonian, and not only Buxtonian, because I know that there's people from all over here. I believe in a God, and the God that I believe in is a true and living God. And I believe that a nation or a country that play together will stay together. Now, a better mic. Yeah. I believe that the ministers that the post they are in is because God has ordained that post for them. And God is in charge of everything. Now, in Buxton, we have a lot of roads that are bad. I'm asking them to please fix it. Other than that, there's a lot of youths being unemployed. Some of them have their degree in Buxton and they ain't getting no job. When I say a lot of youths, there's a lot of contractor here who no work, who ain't getting no job. And we know that the devil find works for idlers. So I'm asking that if you could find some job for the contractors and those people with qualification so that Buxton could be a better place. And not only Buxton, but Guyana in the whole. Thank you.
Good day. My comments would be directed to the Minister of Sports. Just want to commend the panel. Everybody's preaching development, and definitely Buxton needs development as well. So I would have been at the commissioning of the Pike Street basketball, the lights that was donated. So commendable job. They now have lights at that area, and most recently there was basketball hoops at Ithaca. So we would want to continue the progress down to Buxton. So today's gathering is basically on the basketball court. The backdrop hides a very dilapidated ring. If you look, that's what the other one looks like, and it's on its way as well. So we would want to ask the minister to continue your good works and probably donate some rings for us. Buxton and the entire East Coast has great talent, but it can only be developed if we have the facilities. Most recently, we have one of our scholarship program youths, Israelia. He would have come from the BV area. there is literally no basketball team, active basketball team, other than Pleasant's Guardians on the East Coast. So I'm asking if we can have this court upgraded, probably other courts on the East Coast. That would definitely boost basketball in this area. Thank you.
Good day, everyone.
You guys, first of all, you guys have a lot of players here.
So Sunday morning, that was our biggest gathering. We have approximately about 100 players, some of which are in the audience here. And we now have floodlights, so that will ensure that we can play in the afternoon into the night. So that would boost our after-school program, if so permits.
So I just want to let everybody know, first of all, that we're very grateful to see all of you here. The entire tent is now back to capacity, and you have everybody on the outside standing beyond. And it shows from the very first day that when we came in here, we have received nothing but love from the community of Buxton. And from the moment that we came in here too, we also share that love with you. When I came in here the first time, these wires that you see running along the fence here, they were on the ground, exposed. Children were running around with the possibility of getting electrocuted. We fixed that. When we came in here the second time, we promised that we would put up 8 50-feet concrete poles with wiring underneath. We delivered that. I told them to keep the lights on so that when we come in here today, we could see that it's working. When His Excellency President Ali came in here, he had a huge engagement with everybody. One of the requests made from the gentleman at the back who just spoke before or prior to. You remember your request was, you want this road to be done. President Ali instructed his minister right there and then, Minister Edgel and Minister Indar, to get that road done. That road is now complete. The Prime Minister came in when we delivered on the lights, the equipment. We walked that road to see it through to the end. Now I'm telling you this because I'm showing you a track record of where we have given our commitment, we have honored our word, and followed through with that commitment. Today I'm going to make another commitment, because you were saying that you have 100 players who play here, and you don't have any hoops. Just last Sunday, we were in Ithaca, and we installed, for the first time, pro basketball hoops in any community across this country. Today, and just to show you that we mean business, that today I'm going to give you that commitment that within 30 minutes, those hoops are going to be here. I'm also going to deliver within 30 minutes. Are you listening? Because this President Ali's government is not a government about gap. Gap is when you won't go in the ring. That's gap. We're about action. Real pace. Delivering development, the transformational development in the country that we desperately need. We're desperately yearning for. And let me say something about this. Being a leader today is more than just being somebody who speaks, you know. It's more than just being somebody who shouts, you know. It's more than somebody who tells you to go and protest. Because you had choices today. You had choices. And I would like to congratulate you, all of you, for choosing development today. Because we have choices too. We have choices too. We could not be here too. And when you hear people come and tell you to make the wrong choices, those wrong choices will lead you down a bad road. We're delivering the good road. We're delivering on our promises. So my second commitment that I'm going to make now, within 30 minutes, we're also going to deliver a drive-in tractor lawnmower and tractor. Finally, within 2 weeks, so in order to put up these hoops, they have to be casted into the ground, etc. So within 2 weeks, our team at the ministry and your team of basketball players, we're going to work on a community program, a community project, where we're going to install these hoops together. Building together is an example and the priority, the commitment that President Ali has made to this country. Building together. Thank you very much.
Mike, yes. They're making that complete once again. The minister has just promised to deliver. The trucks with those stuff are outside, and we would like to get them inside. From people P557 main, from P4615 main, PAC 5171. Can they be the main? We need to get all the stuff.
Good morning again. I'd like to ask a question. And this question will help both myself and Minister Zulfikar. So I want you to hear me clearly. We have Buxton with a walk road, we have Church God Road, and we have Friendship Road. Which is the one road, if we fix to the farm, will be able to serve all of the people? So you're asking that the priority to get them to the farms be pushed down, which is possible? I'd like to ask Mr. Tom, the European scholar, we'd like to hear I won't be able to hear it. I won't be able to hear it everybody show. We're not concerned excuse me. Please.
President, the panel of the government, everyone here today. I want to implore everyone, while waiting for your chance to speak, think carefully what you are about to say, because a day like today is very important. And think about what you have to say, because a lot needs to be done in the Guyana at large. The government can do everything at the same time. So focus on what is currently and what's going on. Right? Before I start speaking, I just want to make a statement. Buxton has played a great role in the history of this country. And I want to say to you, in 2022, Buxton still have a lot to offer. And the best of our contribution has not yet been made. I want to say that. As a youngster from this place, right? They say I just make a key point, one of my main points I want to say as a youth of Buxton. You're going to kill two birds with one stone. The farm to market product the mouth. Right? You're going to do two main things.
Put the mic closer to your mouth.
The farm to market road going to do two main things for us. Other than assisting our farmers or produce. Buxton have a lot of ancestral lands behind there that we have certificate of title for. If we have a main road, our well road, going to the backland with utilities such as pipelines and light on that one road, it's going to open up lands to the left, lands to the east, and land to the west, bringing economic prosperity to us that we have inherited from our ancestors, right? By giving us asset now, asset that we have, that we can now take to the bank to help ourselves with loans for buildings, and so we don't have to put an extra strain on the Ministry of Housing to provide housing. Like Buxton alone to be excluded. We have our own lands, and we need infrastructure there that will cover the minor community roads. If we have one main already access road down the back, that will alleviate a lot of problems. That is a main commitment we would like to offer the government. But you know the government can do everything at the same time. But in future plans, that is a main concern. If you look at Traspe now, the housing scheme has played in our Traspe. They have plans to go so deep down the back. Right to Annandale, there in Annandale, easing out the scheme. It's going so deep down the back, you see contracts like valves and Trump going deep down the back. What about Buxton? We have so much land going down the back. And if we have that road, it will assist us, right? Listen, as a surveyor in this community, I am recommending the Buxton Middlewalk road. Reason being, we could go east and we could go, if we go to Georgetown, to the west is Traspe. And if we have Buxton, Middlewalk, we could go east or west. We could go east or west.
Thank you.
Right? My second key point now, that was my point as a community point. I want to make a personal point that is affecting me as a young professional in this country. Right? And I just want to give a brief synopsis of my journey as a youth in this country, Guyana. I want to say in 2013, under the then Minister of Natural Resources, Mr. Robert Kazan, I take oath and I become a sworn land surveyor in this country. Subsequently, in 2015, I graduated from the University of Guyana in civil engineering, passed with distinction. Right? In 2015, I started my small business, contracted business, because that was my dream to become a contractor. I went to the region to find out. I went around trying to get assistance to start my small business. I was given an opportunity to start with some plumbing fixtures at school. I got promoted. I started doing repairs at school. And as a result of my effectiveness and efficiency executing this project, in 2019, the largest road project executed by the RDC region number 4, a capital project passed Central Tenfold. I executed that project. And fast forward now to 2020. In this year, 2020, I've expended over $1 million in purchasing tender document with security and photocopying and printing for these big submissions. And I have not received a single contract.
a point I want to know, and the initial stage of starting my business, I encourage my younger brother, because when I see Brody, and I can tell him, I'm going to invest in you, you're going to study to become an engineer, and we're going to run the company together. This year, as we speak, in a matter of 1 month time, if he submitted his final year project, he also will be graduating with a distinction in civil engineering. But our dilemma now is not getting any opportunity. Gold Award has not been awarded to us. Region 4 alone, RDC 4, I submitted, I thought it was over 50 documents at Region 4 alone. Not a single document. Buxton have a lot of dedicated youth that are willing to participate in the development of this country. And we have to participate in areas that we are good at, that we are skilled at. And for me, working for the government with a contract is all that I do. And I just want to ask the government if they could assist me by providing opportunities to me that myself and my brother he could elevate and become one of the successful contractors in this country. Buxton himself has produced 3 large contracts, California, and Del Garnet, all under this government. And I believe I could be a successful contractor.
Please make sure my staff gets her name.
Could you please we have some comments from the circle of government?
Good morning, good everyone. So I think at the onset of some really was speaking to me, because I'm the minister responsible for the regions as well, and the NDC. So part of President Ali's commitment to young people, we have more work than we have people to do. I can assure you that. It is unfortunate that till yet you have not been getting work. So our REO is here. Please give him the MA company. We already have the documents in order. There's only one commitment I require regarding my leave from Buxton. This is how our government works. There are many people like you who have invested, and what I found in this region, for example, I found that, and we got to be conscious, right? We got to be conscious. In business, in this region and in many other regions, what I found is that some of the bigger guys, they don't look out for the small guys. And this Irfan Ali looks out for the small guys. He has given us that instruction, and that's why all of the ministers are here. He has given us the instruction. As a matter of fact, today is Caricon Day, by the way. Happy Caricon Day to all. And President Ali has been on the cabinet chat group, updating us with what is happening and giving us guidance to speak to you as well. Because whilst he's not here, he's here in spirit, and we are his mouthpieces to you. And the commitment that Prime Minister has given in terms of development, the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development is really the small man ministry. So we do all we fix the things that people get irritated about every day. And many times I go around different parts of the country with both the President and the Vice President. We've had cabinet outreaches in some regions already. We have documented in excess of 5,000 community meetings across the country. It is unfortunate that we have taken so long as a big group, but nevertheless our Prime Minister has been here before other ministers of government. And I can tell you the agenda of the government in terms of community development, that your issues are no different from issues of any other community. People need jobs, people require good roads, they want their drains clean, people require good services from the government. It is something that I have not heard anyone really speak about as yet. It means that we are doing good as a government on the East Coast. Alright? So you see what I mean? So this is the type of consciousness that we want to build in our communities. And many of you here are parents, right? What is the most important thing in your life? Kids. The children. Alright? So how are we going to provide for our children? When I grew up in Bordeaux, right, like many of these guys, we were rural people just like you. As a matter of fact, the majority of my teenage days, I grew up in Guyanese, East Coast, and Marara. And when I went back there like a few months ago, many of the issues that people faced then in the late 80s and 90s are the same issues people are facing. But you know what is the difference now? Leadership. And your presence here is a manifestation of what this comrade said earlier. Where Buxton goes, Guyana goes. It is a manifestation of leadership. And that is what you should give yourself a round of applause for. Because I don't know if many of you are biblical people. I remember in President's College, one of the principals of President's College came from this village, Miss Young, Norman Young. Right? Oh, that's your sister. And I have a colleague, she's a judge now, the one from Buxton. And so please, I'm happy to be present in Buxton. So I'm proud of your sister. Alright? And one of the things we used to learn in school, I don't know how many of you are biblical people, but I'm not saying this in a biblical way, but I trained at one time to be a pastor, right? And in Bible school, we learned a principle called exhalation, right? So we were asking, the senior guys in the school varsity Christian fellowship, why are you talking biology with us? Right? We come here to train to be pastors. And one of the senior lecturers said, if you want to be a leader, if you want to be a good priest, if you want to be a good pastor, you must allow people to exhale, meaning that they got to speak and you got to listen. And I think today, we need to commend President Ali, Prime Minister Mark Phillips, for leading this delegation here to listen to all of you, so that you can listen. You're not going to get many people listen to you, it's just like us in our families. I have one child, right? But I have to listen to my son to know how I could provide leadership as a father to him. And just like you in your community, if you don't listen to your children, if the leaders in the community don't listen to the people of the community, we're not going to be making progress. And you look around, all of you are smart people. We have a guy from Florida. We have my former principal brother here. And so many people who spoke so eloquently already. That Buxton is not short of leadership and you're not short of potential. So today we want to harness all of this. And don't clap for the things that we are providing. Clap for the things that you require. And the partnership that we have today, my number is 600-8868. Alright? 600-8868. We want to build a relationship with everyone. Leadership is about building trust. And you can't trust us if you can't relate to us. And we can work for you if we don't have trust in the system. The very system that we are head of, sometimes the little things we tend to miss. One of the things that is the hallmark of the PPC government is our accessibility. How many times in the last 20 years have 9 ministers of government led by the Prime Minister acting as President come to the village of Buxton. Give Prime Minister acting as President Mark Phillips, give him the honor today. That is what leadership is about. We could have been anywhere else, but we are here with the people of this community. And I can assure you, with thousands of meetings that we've had, in terms of a single village, or say Buxton Friendship, Prime Minister, I would like to report to you that this is one of the biggest village meetings that we've had as a single village. So give me some. Sorry. Right. So there are some little projects that we're doing in our communities. And where is Ario? Did he get away already? So, yeah, I want to commit a few small projects to the people of Buxton. Ario, all the projects that we're going to be doing from now to the rest of the year, we're not going to give to any contractor who already has contracts. Right? That's an instruction from His Excellency. Secondly, any project that has to be done in Buxton must be done by a company in Buxton, a registered business in Buxton, by people of Buxton. So, all right? Because we cannot bring a contractor from enterprise to build a fence in Buxton. Right? Is that so? We can't bring one from Region 3 to come to here. I'm sure there are enough people here who can rip out some wood and repair the school. Is that so? So we are going to commit these things to you. In terms of the community period, I know this NDC has suffered for a long time. And previously, Mr. Blair and I were friends. And I don't know, maybe he didn't have resources. We have resources now. And there are 40-something persons that are employed by the Ministry of Local Government that work in this NDC to Guyanese. And I've asked for the overseer or the person acting as overseer to come to the meeting because they're the person who run the government in NDC in this village. I don't know if she's here. Is she here? Oh, you're sorry, that's here. So you have another young person. And so make sure that the enhancement workers who are from Buxton work in Buxton to start cleaning up Buxton. Alright? So when is that going to happen? When? Because I heard that they're moving the workers from Buxton and sending them to other villages. Sure. Is that so? Sure. So you got to make sure that they work in Buxton. Alright? There's some other small projects that we have to get done. Fixing up the road, the other half of the street. We're going to sort it out for you. Alright? The school area, we got to make sure that one of the contractors, maybe that same young guy, if one of you agree, and he's going to employ some people, we can give him a contract to do some maintenance on the school. Alright? But you got to commit to employ some people from the school. Some women too, right? I agree. Alright, so thank you very much.
I want to give thanks to the Prime Minister, acting as President, and all of you for doing just what you just said, coming today to listen. I'm a Buxtonian. I actually was born in Traskey, but my mother is from, the family is from Buxton. And I work at Carrico. I was supposed to be in Suriname, but because of some family matters, I had to be here. So when I heard that this is going to happen, I said I must come here to share and to request of you as a Buxtonian. Most of what I want, I have 3 main points that I wanted to share on, but they have been spoken of. And Minister of Housing, the roads, just like all of you are making commitments, I hope that we'll have that commitment that the roads throughout Buxton. I live at Eastville, So if it could be extended today to there, that would be great. That's the first one. But my suggestion is, we have a lot of young people here, a lot of skillful persons who may require small loans or business opportunities or business support. And the Minister of Business is here, Minister Waldron. So my suggestion is, and this has worked in other countries, where you have these small loans that are made available to That's one of the ways it can be done. It can be grants, but the amounts can range, say, it's for the team to decide, from 300 to 500,000. And you can make those available to the communities. And it's not, I am advocating for it to be done for Buxton. We can be the guinea pigs, we can start it out, and then it can be moved on across the country. But one of the first speakers, the lady asked for assistance to be able to get some financing. So that is one of the ways that can be made available so that they can be utilized. For all the families, those mothers who their fathers are not there, or whatever the circumstances is, it has been used successfully in countries such as Sri Lanka. So I am proposing that the government look at this proposal and utilize it to help our people across the country. Minister of Health, I was at the hospital yesterday with one of my family members. And I mean, we got to start doing better in this country when it comes to some basic services. There was a room in the accident and emergency department where they were going to put the patients on the bed. And you go in there and the bed is just with the, no sheet, nothing at all. Not even a piece of paper that you could spread, that they use in the offices. I am urging you, please, do visit these places unannounced to see these kind of things. We, as a country, we're talking about development. We cannot have this continue to happen. We can't be treating our own citizens as if we are animals. Come on, I'm a veterinarian, and I'm sure I treat my pets better than that. So I said this would make me more why I have to come and share this with you. Because I know with the kind of action that you can have in place, we can do much better than that. If it's just that, you know what I'm speaking about, that you put on the beds in the medical facility. We can do that at least. And my last, this is a personal request. I have in my hand a plan that I've made since 2013 that was submitted to the NDC. It went all the way to the Central Housing and Planning Authority. And from since then to now, all of the requirements I've submitted, and I cannot get it approved. So this is my personal request. It's going to be the Ministry of Housing to have this plan with you. Because if this business is allowed to be developed, it is going to provide employment for people in my village. And that is the reason why I wanted to have it done. Thank you all very much for this.
Let him reply. Look, she's going to reply to you. Look, listen.
I'm responsible for small business development at the Small Business Bureau. There's a brief background. The UPC government of the day in 1991 set up the Small Business Act, which is a businesses that will get drowned out by the bigger businesses to be registered and to be able to get access to grants. As you rightly know, there's a difference between the grants and the loans. So there is the grant, which is a loan, obviously, that you don't have to repay. When we got into government, the previous administration had lowered that facility to 200,000, and so as a maximum. When we got into government, we understand how small business is important to communities just like this. That women especially can have access to the grant to be able to do their business while they are at home, if they stay at home or do business on the side. And so we raised that limit to 500,000. That when we got into government in 2020. That program continues. We have last year we did over 900 grants. This year, and there's also the facility for those. But more than just giving grants, what we do is to help the young ladies to earlier in the meeting talk about helping our business to grow and to how to get into business. What we do, we help you come up with a business proposal, write your business proposal. You have to get NIS and GRA compliant because as the young man said, you can't get access to contracts if you don't have those compliance. We help you do all of that. And at the Small Business Bureau, we can help you do this. So we can bring the Small Business Bureau, in fact, Minister Anthony, who's in charge of the East Coast, he's undertaken to come. Those young people that you speak about, and the women, especially who are interested in starting up a business, we can meet with you and help you with the concept, because we have to help you with shape the business, put it on the proposal, because this proposal you will eventually even help you take to the bank. And those of you who already have a small business to help you to show you how the business will grow. The small business, because of this year, we had an overwhelming number of applications. We stopped the applications as of now, but we can still come in because there are things that you have to do to prepare. You have to get the proposal done, you have to get your compliance done, and we can come and help you with that. And so when the application process is reopened, we will take that to that level when it's reopened next year or next year. Mr. Anthony is going to facilitate that with the Small Business Bureau. It's an excellent idea for your young people to come together and they can come up with a business idea, business plan, the government will support you as we have been doing so in all the communities. We have several one-stop shops where we do that. We do that as well. We bring in GRA, we bring in the NIS officials, we bring in these and commercial registry, because they're the ones that are responsible for registering your business. And all of that we will help facilitate and hold your hand and make sure that you get it. So you don't have to worry about getting all of that done. We will come and help you with that. In another 2 weeks, Mr. Anthony will bring in that workshop for us to start developing these small businesses, identifying them, and helping you with the process, and eventually to get grants or even loans. Because by the time you'll be ready, you'll even be able to apply to bank for a loan through our facility. So if there are a few people who want to talk to Mr. Anthony, you can give your names and numbers, and he can help organize. Those of you who are interested in the small business. And this is and so you can do that right now. You want to put your names now or afterwards? Okay.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning to the panel. I would like to say good morning to the Brigadier, ex-Brigadier Mark Phillips. It's been a while I've seen you in person. Yes. I would like to first address the Minister of Works. We at Gopi Street, that's between Middle Walk.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to conclude the discussion that came out from Minister Onichwa's presentation. That workshop will be organized in to be about 2 weeks from now, and we will use the temporary hall where we can accommodate more people in a more comfortable setting to deliver that workshop for all those people who are interested. Okay? Thank you very much. You can go ahead now with a question.
Yes. Minister of Works, we're persons at Gopi Street, that's between Milwaukee and Sideline Dam. We recently started signing a petition to get assistance from the NDC, I suppose. I don't know how fast you could address that matter with our street. It's in very deplorable state. Secondly, I don't know if I sound repetitive, but I don't know if anybody out here has addressed the scholarships. I noticed there are a number of scholarships that are available, but I don't know if y'all had put anything in places for persons who really would like to have a scholarship, who applied for a scholarship and didn't get a response about the scholarship. Because I'm presently a student at the University of Guyana in the psychology department, and I recently applied for a scholarship and I didn't get a response. And I would like the assistance with the scholarship because managing between work and UG is very hard. Because in the military, Brigadier Mark Phillips, you know what goes on. I applied a few times and I've been denied to attend the University of Guyana. And I applied again this year and the interview was done. It's Francisco. Yes. And the interview was done the past week that's gone. And I was not there because my name wasn't sent up to the board, or it wasn't recommended by my OC. So I'm asking if there are any available scholarships that could be given to Buxtonians that would assist in the development of the youths. Because we are here and some of us may have CXCs who would like to better ourselves. And it's a case where we don't have the opportunity to, because University of Guyana is not cheap to attend. You understand?
You want me to come in now?
You can go ahead.
Francisco, are you still in the GDF?
Correct, Sergeant.
You're Sergeant now, congratulations. I know him since he was a baby soldier. You will get to go to university. I'll talk to the Chief of Staff.
Yes. So I would also like to thank the most active minister in Buxton. That's the Minister of Sports. Thank you very much. That's it for me. Please, Minister of Works, please look into Gopi Street. We're begging. Not asking, we are begging.
All right, just before you go, if you don't mind, let me just say, and I can assure every single person here, like we do across all parts of Guyana, that the Gold Scholarship Program is for every single Guyanese, whether you're from Buxton or any other part of the country. And yes, people from Buxton should take maximum advantage of this program. It is a program that we started off, an online scholarship program. We had it in our manifesto. We started to implement it when we came into government in 2020, August of 2020, and we have, for the first year, given out, allocated about 6,000 of those scholarships. We are about another 5,000 this year, and the numbers will go up. And from the way it is going, it appears as though it will grow beyond the 20,000 that we've committed for the 5 years in government, the first 5 years. So it is a program that you could all take up the opportunity, young people, the older ones. It is free of cost, and we would want every single one of you to take up this opportunity. We value education. We want our people to be more advanced educationally. Your education value means that you have very good training place for the future in terms of your job, in terms of your business, and therefore we want you to do better. And therefore the opportunity of the scholarship, if there's anyone here, any one of you, who would like to pursue the whole program and you have applied or intended to apply, you can leave your names and numbers and we will follow up with you to guide you through the process and to make sure that you are on the road to accessing the gold scholarship. All right?
I'd like to identify a glitch or where you could see a flaw in the gold program, because I myself and a fellow student of the psychology course presently at UG, we had applied. But one of the requirements is an acceptance letter from UG stating that you are being applied, you are qualified to attain the course that you are requesting. And that's impossible because UG would not give you an acceptance letter even before the new school year is open. So that it was something that was challenging to both of us. Because she received the call, I did not. And when I called them, they said, you need to have an acceptance letter. And UG would not be giving us an acceptance letter until the new school year has been put in place.
All right, we'll speak with Professor Obey, who runs the Gold Scholarship Program, specifically on the matter you raised, and provide you with guidance. So once you have the names and numbers, we can follow with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, panel. Good afternoon to Buxtonians. I'm here today to talk to the panel about Buxtonians' needs. Right now, I think the farmers have a great need. I think we had about 10 floods in Buxton. All the other areas will get flooded, the farmers get paid. No Buxtonian farmers didn't get paid. I could talk about the truth because I was there. And next problem we got, the roads so bad, I as a regional council last week, a big hole in front of me built to all over camp. I don't know when them roads going to do. Don't talk about the middle street. Buxton is down middle street. All mash up. So I really want us to look into the roads of Buxton. Last 2022 budget, I put in for 7 roads in Buxton. I get none. Since the year 2023 budget come in, I run last week and put in. I know what's going to happen. I know Mr. Gadrat's going to hijack the budget again. I do it last time. He didn't bring it to the council. The budget didn't come to council at all. Then we hear that the budget passed. Well, I'm asking him not to do that. Please, repair the roads in Buxton. We don't want them accident pass, I'm telling you. A big hole in front of me, bitch. I think it's JP for people coming, council last week, and you can't come in.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Listen to me. I want to know if the Buxtonians don't get paid for their farm and was swam down. All them other villages get paid. Corbies get paid.
All right.
East Coast, East Coast. What happened to Buxton?
All right, you talk about farm. You talk about farm and you talk about
listen to me. I was not stopping anybody. I'm representing my people of Buxton. I am a Buxtonian. I am a regional council. I have a right to represent my people. So don't stop me. Sir, okay. I would like you to look into it because I would like the farmers to get paid.
Listen to me now. I listen to you. 3 times you tell me about the roads and the farmers with the pay. And I hear you clearly from the first. We will... Okay, just listen to me.
Yes, I'm listening.
We have the REO for Region 4 here. We have the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development here. Okay? And I will give him an opportunity to speak. Okay?
Yes, I would like to hear it.
Right. So just, if you give the mic to the moderator and the minister will speak now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your intervention. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. So, Councillor Esprit, how come you represent Buxton and all the 30 councillors come to me, you never come and tell me about Guyanese? Okay. So here now, don't blame that judgment. So this is the policy of the government, right? The roads are on the around the country. All the roads have been identified. We actually have what we call a Bible of roads, and those have been submitted to the Ministry of Public Works, and based on budget, that is how they're able to to intervene. But what I can assure you, the program that we have is that every community road in the next few years will be converted to asphaltic concrete. It is being done. So just give us some time and we are going to fix all of the roads. Alright? So some went through the RDC and others went, most of it, I think Minister Edgel mentioned 2 billion, is it? 2 billion on the East Coast. So many roads are going to be fixed, but it will take a period of time. And this year 2 billion, next year we're going to put more money to fix roads on the East Coast. Okay?
Before I give Minister Nandal an opportunity to speak, I want you to understand that this is a process that started with this year's budget. We're fixing a set of roads this year, then another set will be fixed next year, and the following year. In your submission, you may have had 10 roads. What we tell you clearly is that we cannot fix all 10 in 2022 budget. We will fix some this year, and then we will fix some the following year, and we will keep going until we fix all the roads. Because all the roads in every community in Guyana need fixing at the same time. I now hand over to Minister Nandalal, and then I think Minister Edgel may want to say something.
So, Councillor Eswick, you made an allegation that no farmer received assistance in Buxton. That is not true. Hold on. The Ministry of Agriculture has appointed a team from NARI that traveled across the country, NARI and various other agencies in the agri-sector that took down names of farmers. There's a farmer group here that was relied upon headed by Dina, who submitted names, and over 60 farmers have already received assistance under that program, and more are to receive. So please add the names to that group. Well then get your name on the list and get it into the program, and they will be paid. But it is not true that farmers have not received. We have to rely on groups.
Put your name on the list. Okay. Let's get some order. Let's get some order so we can get progress. Order and progress. Okay, you just listen to me. Some farmers already received money. You say that there are farmers or they're still to receive money. Let us have the names and we'll take it from there. This is a simple issue. We could solve this issue. And we've been doing that in many communities throughout Guyana. Okay? Some names are submitted, let us have the additional names and we will take it from there.
Okay. All right. So just one other thing. I want us to make this very clear when we are making representation at this meeting. If you are in possession of facts, you know that farmers have been paid. May not be all of the farmers, but if you know as a representative of the area that there are farmers who have been paid, don't come to the meeting in front of everybody and in front of the cabinet and say that farmers have not been paid. So, because we have a responsibility to first of all find out whether that's accurate or not. And we immediately contacted the Minister of Agriculture, and he just communicated with us that information. Because when we are providing public money to people, we are accountable. If that information that we have on the ground that we have verified turns out to be inaccurate, we have to make sure what the problem is. And then on top of that, we're not going to allow anyone to mislead a large group of people here when we have made public statements about this. So when you're making representations, I am encouraging you to make sure that you come with the facts. Don't know that you have those facts and then bury it deep inside the belly, because there are a lot of people who don't know about this.
All right, let's see if we can address the issues of the roads. Let's see if we can address the issues of the roads. When you have a development deficit, that means nothing was being done and everything deteriorating. You got to start from somewhere. So as a responsible government, in the communities, we said priority roads are roads that reach the schools, health centers or medical facilities, hospitals, places of worship, and main access where everybody have to use. So the first tranche of attacking development in communities were to address those issues. What we are coming around now and we are doing is addressing roads that have never been done. You got some people who had the road done, they got 2 holes, and they were like it to be done. You got people in the back street who never had their road being done yet. So we are seeking to serve people who have never been served. And that's the second tranche that we are doing. Minister Darmodar indicated as the minister responsible for local government, which means all the NDCs in the region. If you come now and you tell me go this street back, and if I was in my office, I could turn to the page with Gopi Street and show you all the potholes, the width of the road, the length of the road, and the cost of it. We didn't have to come here today to know that Gopi Street bad or Milwaukee Street bad. We have already mapped the villages with the help of the regional engineers, the superintendent of works from the various NDCs, and we are rolling out our development projects based on how funds are allocated in priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. Now I know somebody will say, but I live there. And that is a priority, because you live there. But governments have to make decisions, not just for individuals who would like to have their road fixed. Government have to make decisions with communities to ensure that exactly what was spoken about early, equity, is maintained. So, schools, health centers, places of worship, main access, most of that has already been addressed. The second tranche that we're coming with are areas that have not yet been served. We are developing a program that will connect in ensuring. Now, believe you me, as the Minister of Public Works and President Ali Aspedia, we will want to ensure that every road in this country is fixed. That nobody is complaining. That is good for bubbling. It's good for politics. We want to fix your roads. But listen, you can't take all the money and fix road. You have to give people education. You have to spend money on health. You have to help the farmers. You have to pay pensioners. You have to improve salaries of public servants. You have to bring pure water. We got to ensure that the country, law and order is maintained by taking care of the police and the army and the fire. It's not one thing the government is doing, it's many things. So that is why you have a process that is called budgeting. And budgeting It's not somebody showing up with a wish list and getting everything that they want. What you do must start with principles that govern how funds are allocated. And what happens is that sometimes political operatives make commitments even before they get the consultations done. And we have to be careful with that. I asked a question a little earlier. Which one of the streets to the farm to market access did you fix? And I would want to let you know, I will send my engineers from the Ministry of Public Works, and they will hold a consultation through the region and the NDC with the people, so that the moment we get money available for a farm to market access, we can do all farm to market access, but we must be able to do at least one where everybody must be able to get access into the farm. And we'll be able to do that. I also want to indicate that not this Wednesday, the following Wednesday, not tomorrow Wednesday, the next Wednesday, I want to come back to Buxton with my technical team, and I want to do two things. Or I should say, we want to do two things. One, we will want to meet with all of the small civil works contractors. When I say civil work contractors, I mean people who could do roads, people who could build bridges, and so on, in my sector. So we'll be able to look and see what capacity is there. So when we are formulating the program for works in Buxton, we'll be able to see what can be done in Buxton. Now, I had an experience I was telling Charles and my colleague Charles and my colleague ministers. We went into South Georgetown a few weeks ago and they said a piece of road that can be fixed. And I went Saturday myself to get it fixed, to see the engineers do it. The road was flooded, so we had to drain it. So I see several events here, got some people from South Georgetown who work for the military to come and clear the drain so the road would drain. The people in front say, we're not coming back, why are you using in front? People from South, you know, so sometimes when you hear people say, use people from Buxton, next thing you say, but this is not from this street. They're not from them back. So the discrimination among yourselves must not be who's front and who's back. Once you're Buxtonian, you're Buxtonians. Would that be okay? So I would just want to indicate that, so I work through the NDC and the Minister of Local Government, and we will come and have an engagement so we can be able to look holistically about that. And the last thing I want to say about roads, I think Mr. Blair used to be the last NDC chairman. And when I went into enterprise, the people in enterprise accused us of neglecting them. I know they said they got pressure on already parked up in Buxton in case the road in Buxton get a hole. And there were no roads in enterprise that were being fixed. And I walked enterprise, and the fact of the matter was the roads in enterprise were not done. So what's the point I'm making? We got to live and let others live. Buxton needs their roads to be fixed. Annandale needs their road to be fixed. Enterprise needs their road to be fixed. All across Guyana. But we can do everything for everybody at the same time. So your wish list will no time at all get all the things next to it. We have to put criteria in place of how we bring development in an equitable and non-discriminatory manner. And that's what we're seeking to do. Thank you very much.
And I'm from the neighboring village of Vigilance, a village that is off the map. Nobody remembers that village. So I'm here today with two concerns, a personal one and one from Vigilance Village. Now, my personal concern, I'm living on Vigilance Public Road. I have a neighbor next door that son filled his land with loom for 12 years now. I'm living on the western side, the land is on the eastern side. The sun would blow over my place, damage. I went to so many places. Also, the individual had excavators and truck. The excavators and truck damaged my house, break and crack, do everything. I spoke to Mr. Minister Darmla briefly on the phone. I had 2 meetings with Minister Anand Prasad. I also visited 2 meetings with Minister Crow. I had 3 meetings with Executive Director Breed. I visited also Minister Edge's office. I also spoke with Attorney General, Mr. Nangala. Now, this has been going on for a very long time. I informed the NDC, RDC, and EPA involved. And this has been going on for a very long time. Now, there are people from housing came and visit, public works came and visit, so many places came and visit over the years, and nothing has been done. Now, there are visible evidence of what is happening to my home. My next concern is we're living on Vigilance Public Road. We do not have drainage. When the rain falls, the water from the road will go into your yards. I informed the NDC. One rainy day, the NDC chairman and a council came with the pouring rain. They told me they're not responsible for drainage. They told me if I can buy dirt and fill my land is 100 by 200. Where am I going to get the money to buy dirt to fill the land? Who's going to pay the laborer? Okay? Now, what I did, I bought PVC pipe, the big ones. I put it in the yard by the fence to collect the rainwater so it could go, and I throw it to the back of my land, which is flood right now. Every time the rain falls, the land flood because the rainwater then yard water together. Now, the incident before has been going on for a very long time. I don't think representatives here from EPA. I spoke to Department so many times. They visited my home so many times concerning the dust, the damage of property, and what is going on. And I'm not getting help from nowhere. I tried to call the Prime Minister's office many times to get an appointment. I've been rejected from one by the name of Buxton. And I'm not getting anywhere. So that is 2 major problems, the drainage, and anybody want to come to see what I'm talking about? Minister Anand came and visited the site. And that's all. He asked me if I have videos, I have pictures. I went to his office on the second meeting and I produced everything. And this has been going on for a very, very long time. So I also will call another resident from Vigilance to see what is happening with them. Thank you very much.
My problem is I live on the north of by the public road, and then the rainfall and water and there is no drainage. The pipe, all the sand water from the road to the pipe. I don't know what I can do. I want somebody to help and assist me in my problem. Thank you. My name is Karen. I live 2 blocks from the police station. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the panel.
My name is Mr. Buxton. I'm the Vice President for the Melanie Football Club.
Mr. Buxton, just hold a while. I want to give the floor to the bishop to offer an explanation to the ladies. Raise their hands.
All right. Thank you very much, PM. So, from what I'm understanding is that this problem started when we did the new highway, when we elevated the highway.
Yes.
The public road.
Yes.
Okay. So, when we would have done that public road, we built it higher. So the road is now higher than most people's yards. So the drainage network would have to be addressed that when the water comes off the road, it goes to the outlet. So what we will have to do is investigate where the water is running and where there's a blockage. Because once the roads come out, your yard used to always be drained before the road was rebuilt. And when the road was being built, we would have understood that the water flow was adequate to take the water. So we have to find where the blockage is, and we will investigate that with the NDC chairman, because certainly water had to be running before the road was built.
There's no drainage. And I forgot to mention this. I spoke to Mr. Hornside. There was one by the name of Miss Charles came and did an investigation. And Mr. Ryan. Mr. Hornside sent me a WhatsApp message and said they're trying to mobilize funds to do the drainage. That was a very long time ago. And the road, they're going to extend the road. I said they're not extending the road because the road already resurfaced. So we need drainage. We don't even have drainage at the back, which the NDC said they're not responsible for drainage on the road, but they're responsible for drainage at the back. There is nowhere for this water to run.
If you, I regret to send you to my office.
Yes, I did. I spoke to you. I have an interview to you.
You have an interview, I don't recall that.
I'm called engineer to let them see.
Okay. Well, my staff will get the details from you. And if Mr. Lee came, Mr. Lee's not researching today, he's no longer involved in the ministry. But he was not researching today that we're walking with these matters. We'll have a look at it, and we will see what can be done. And the issue you raised earlier about the neighbor building their yard higher, we also have to look and see what is happening with the water flow. Water, the Ministry of Public Works is always concerned about water. There is nothing that destroys roads more than water. So at no time at all will we build a road and the water man over through. So once the water is not flowing, it will undermine the road. So your concern is of greater concern to me. So we will have a look at it, and we'll have to look at the road drainage network to see what is happening there. Okay? So my staff will get details of the report.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes. Good afternoon again, everyone. Good afternoon to the panel. I'm here basically representing the Forgotten City, Melanie Damishano. As I said, I took the opportunity because I've been following the cabinet.
We're coming to Melanie. We are representing Melanie. Today is Buxton Day. Buxton Day.
Good afternoon, everyone, members of panels and fellow Buxtonians. Now, I would like you to imagine this, right? Your 17-year-old daughter left for work after 7 in the morning, and then she didn't come home. The night she didn't return home. And then, early Monday morning, police came to your home. Oh, we found a young lady at the burial ground, and we would like you to come and identify her. Now picture you finding your 17-year-old daughter. Her pants pulled down, her legs burned, she had literally no face, her skull was showing. Now you said that you would like the law system to work, but it's not working. And then, after that, there too, the police came to your home, collected the mother, the father, as well as the daughter, put them in the lockups for 3 days and 3 nights to say that, oh, the father killed the daughter and he had sexual relations with the daughter. December will make 5 years that nothing came out of the story of Renella Benfield, that girl that was found in the burial ground at BV. Nothing came out of that story. No, everyone is, of course, I feel for Quentin Backless, yes. But what about my sister's case, as well as so many other cases that went cold? Nothing came out of it. Nothing came out of it. And secondly, I'm a young lady. I would like to, I have love and passion for craft and art. And I would also like assistance with startup capital. I have examples here of what I do. I do crochet. And this is the latter issue. But what I'm saying is, you have a 17-year-old daughter. What can a 17-year-old daughter, what can a 17-year-old girl do to deserve that kind of murder, to deserve that kind of death? I have a son, right? I have a son. So if it is that happened, right? If it is that happened, and nothing came out of it, basically you're telling youths to take matter into their own hands. If it is that the law is them, it's not protesting them. Nothing is coming out of it. So I know that is not what you want, but I'm asking you, please do not allow 5 years to reach, and my sister's case is unsolved. Her name is Renella Benfield. Nothing came out of that story.
Can I speak now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, you finished?
Yes.
You can give the microphone to the moderator. You said it's a cold case. But based on the information I have, it is not a cold case. The case is still under investigation by the police. Not every case can be solved in 5 days. Some cases take a long time to be solved. I am aware that the matter is still under investigation by the police. It's an open case. Okay, I can assure you, based on the information I have, that is an open case. Perhaps it's one of those cases that are difficult to solve, and that's why it's taking a long time. But the police is still working on that case. I know of the father that you were talking about, and recently on social media, so many news, right? They did a follow-up story, somebody did a follow-up story on it, and his experience from the time that incident occurred and what happened to him. But the matter is still under investigation. The other point, if I should move on to the other point, to talk about the small business. And I'm aware of a small business guru, where assistance can be given to small businessmen and women like yourself. I minister did acknowledge that and explain that facility earlier. Okay? In 2 weeks, we're going to have this session at Tipperary Hall. Kindly attend the session so you can get the training and everything will follow from there, you know, whether it's a grant or a loan. Okay, so it's good to get the knowledge first, and then when you get the financial assistance, that will help you to better utilize the loan or the grant to get your business going. Okay, ma'am? Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Special afternoon to members of the head table. I must say, as a Buxtonian, I'm happy that you have taken time off of your busy schedule to grace us with your presence. Can we give a round of applause to the members of the head table? Thank you. Now, my name is Michelle Booker, residents south of the railway embankment. I don't want to sound like a recurring decimal, but our streets are in a deplorable state, right? I would like to get an answer from Minister Edgell the same way that we got an answer quickly from the Minister of Sports, giving us a deadline when our streets will be done. I'm living just behind Blakenall School, right? They have lots and lots of bushes there, and mosquitoes are tearing us apart, so to speak. Now I have noticed that a new post office has been constructed, thanks to you for giving us that. But oftentimes when I'm passing early in the month, I know pension is being distributed from the first of the month, we have our elderly folks standing there. So what I'm asking is that, seeing that the post office is in construction, if you can have a banner there. So when our elderly folks go to collect their pension, they can have a sitting or a waiting area. Thank you, and I do hope my concerns will be addressed quickly. Thank you.
I will have to address the concern about the post office and the tenants, or then whatever facility to make the pensions comfortable. We do it right away. Right away meeting tomorrow.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here to witness this special delegation. I never met any one of you before. Yeah. My name is Stanley Long. I'm living in Vigilance. A street in front of me by the name of Brother Kwame Street. Right, Brother Kwame Street. Kwame, but we put the brother in front this time. Yeah. And this street has been done 20-something years back. And this street is one of the main streets that lead to our playground. And this street is in a very deplorable state. Some night when sleeping, you hear the car bottom is grazing on the street, and you stop up because you want to make some house fall or something. You know what I mean? And when the 8 p.m. you was in power at the time, everybody feels so happy, and everybody say, "Oh, you made the street done." And the 8 p.m. you come around, PPP come in, and this street still ain't done nothing. But this street was done since the previous time when the PPP was in power. But now, we still living under the same condition. And apart from the street, I have another personal problem, which I would like to discuss with some relevant authority before me. Right now, I'm a bit incapacitated state because of a vehicle accident. And I'm not so well at this time. I'm studying to go just now. But as I get the opportunity to speak now, I said I put forward this to the relevant people. So I don't think I have much to say at this time. So I'm glad if you guys could look into this matter for me, as well as my private matter. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. Good afternoon, everyone. Members of the head table. Really. So, good evening, everyone. Good day, members of the head table. My name is Duane Lewis. I go by the name Nursey. I have a few things that I would like to address, seeking assistance from the honorable ministers. One, my 6-year-old attends the Company Road Primary School. That school produces some of the highest grades on the East Coast at every grade 6 assessment every year. Every year as well, they even have children who place in schools at Georgetown. I know the Minister of Education is not here, but we, the parents of that school, are begging for a new building to house our children. We believe if they're giving a bigger, better, modern building, the potential of the children would blossom even more based on their changing environment. The building is always patched. It always has electrical issues. A few months ago, they had organized a hat show for Easter, and I was there assisting. There was a small fire that had to be extinguished. And the HM said to us, this is what we just go through all the time. This place is so cramped. Classrooms are in the passageway close to the HM's office. That's the same school that had the outreach the other day with Minister Vindia. I am kindly begging, and I know other parents that are here today would echo the same sentiments that I'm saying now for our children. Next thing, there is a library located, there is a dilapidated, somewhat building, a few on the right when you go out. It's filled with thick bush, every bush growing all over. That is supposed to be an arm of the National Library. I'm kindly asking, I'm Buxtonian, I live in Vigilance, but I'm Buxtonian. I'm kindly asking if the good Minister of Culture, if that falls under you, can please, along with Mr. Kwame McCoy, do something for that library so that the children within this area, Buxton Friendship Northern Section Vigilance, can access the facilities of the library. It can be modernized. You can make it an IT hub. You can pay someone, let the person run a little photocopy shop, let the children could get to do their assignments and so on. And that will serve mainly the residents of this community and their schools. They have the nursery school, primary school, and the secondary school, all located on the northern side of this community. It will be an asset if something can be done for it. One more thing. I said at the beginning I'm a nurse by profession, but I'm also a farmer. I assist my sister-in-law. She's one of the hardest working female livestock farmer in this area here. Everybody knows her. She juggles her buckets of fish and all other things, feeds all other things to feed her animals. A few mornings ago, persons visited her. While I was at work, persons from Ministry of Agriculture visited her. They made promises of giving her stuff, and today she has those promises weren't fruitful. I'm standing here on behalf of her because she is the body, and I am more the helper in the afternoon. So when I come off at work at 4:30, I turn on to the farming with her. And she was promised some stuff. I know that Minister of Agriculture is not here, but if someone can give us a word, take our number, so that the promises can be fulfilled. Wait, one last thing I wrote. So I waited long for the opportunity, so I believe I was given my full time. Thank you. And like I said, I will repeat again, my profession is a nurse. I'm very proud of that. Nurse Lewis, ask anybody about me anyway. I have a reputation, a good one at that. So I'm currently attached as the midwife at Better Hope Health Center. And the health center and the NDC share a good relationship since we opened. And there was a IT program being done there by Honorable Minister Kwame McCoy's ministry, and my son was part of that because his nurse, he had a clinic. I'm kindly asking if things of that nature could also be extended through, I don't know what organization, but the children of this side as well. Like you have the August holiday coming up, 1 and 2 of those things can be run off. And if you do decide to do that, please ensure that the locations for these services are chosen wisely. Please don't let it only be back down side. Let it be shared if they don't get one down back down side for the middle street, for the middle section to go. They can get one at the front side for the other sections to go, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Narcy.
You raise a number of issues there, and we can address many of them almost immediately. The primary school, I'm advised, we will do some repairs in the short term between now and before school reopens to the primary school. But the discussion pertaining to a new school, we will start that discussion. I can't promise you anything as yet. We will start that discussion at the cabinet level, right? Because, you know, we talk about a new school, we're talking about whether you're going to do the school at the same location or you're going to site it somewhere. So a lot of discussion planning has to go. This in the short term, we're going to repair the existing school before the new school year begins, right? Secondly, the building that is the library, no minister, I don't know for the sports. But if it's for education, the region, we will have to look at it. We will have to look at that. Minister Nigel Darla will have a look at that library building, and we will determine how best we can do renovations and start. It's on the youth and sports. We will figure it out. You are there? You are there?
No, I'm a teacher, but years ago we used to carry on some programs there for the community. They had dance classes, gym, all sorts of things. And the football and stuff, when they came here to train, they were usually upstairs.
Okay.
So it was equipped with kitchen facilities.
We'll have a look at that building. We'll have a look at the building, and I think we will refurbish it quickly and get it back to you, the community. Agricultural assistance is forthcoming. This information will be passed to our Minister of Agriculture and the Agri Extension Officers. Will be visiting you shortly. IT, definitely, we have a number of IT courses and summer camps, IT summer camps, you know, they fall under my ministry, and we will include Buxton in our program. Okay, I think we need to wrap up now. We're going to take a few more questions. Don't talk about roads. We hear everything about roads. Let's talk about new things, right? Just about 3 more questions, and then we have to wrap up. Okay? Because today's Harry comes in. Right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mark Phillips and cabinet members. Welcome to Buxton. This is my first time attending an outreach. My name is Abigail John. Many of you are familiar with my face. I've represented Guyana at expos both here and regional. Now, before I get into what I want to say, my sentiments will be directed to the Minister of Business and Minister Guan Ejil. Now, I started working at a very young age, and my second job was at Kaisuko, and they paid me starting off at $30,000. And I had a vision. My vision was to become a business owner. You understand? And my mom, who is late now, she said you cannot own a business without background. So I developed myself with a marketing diploma and a degree in business management. Today I have a business, AJ Science, and another wine company. So AJ Science, when I resigned, it kicked off immediately. I employed 6 to 7 persons from and out of Buxton. COVID came, it was still booming. Eventually things started dim till it came to a halt, right? So me being a business professional, okay, persons cannot, householders cannot come to support me anymore, so I started targeting corporate Guyana. I equipped myself with the relevant documentations required, and I started getting government contracts in the line of my work, which is t-shirt printing and customized items and embroidery services. That it's over a year now since I've gotten the last government contract, and at that point I became frustrated. My uncle, who is an overseas-based Guyanese, he came up to Guyana and said, let me introduce you to a new line of business, GT Wine. I'm known all over marketing this wine. I've represented Guyana lately at the AgroFest, and it was a meaningful impact. And one of the things first people would ask me is why is this wine not at the airport? I have made several attempts. I've driven up to the airport to speak with the persons in charge there. And it's always somebody's always in a meeting. The number is 621-24. It's so clear in my mind that's how frustrated I am. So they turned and said, this is a Ministry of Public Works affair. Now, from the information that I have received, is that the booths at the airport, it's stationary. There's no provision for small businesses. This wine, it's the best wine you would want to taste, and it's that good. Now the wine, there's no provision for small business owners like myself or others that have prestige businesses coming up to have a space, to have a voice at that airport. So, Ms. Edgell, I would like you to address that matter. The second issue is that I represent, like I said, basically all the expos. The president, he knows me by heart, and I love him for that. And also the Minister of Agriculture. Even down to Minister of Business, they would have supported our business sometime last year. Now, my problem is, Building Expo is the biggest expo coming up. I came back to Ghana with so much excitement. Persons in Barbados want this wine. So they're saying that Building Expo is the biggest expo where we're going to target persons from all over. Of course, I would want to be at that expo. So I made advances. I went into CHPA, that's where they had to go. They say you can pay there. They said, no, go to Impressions. I was like, why Impressions has to be a voice where they're going to make a decision for me? So they said, Miss John, only craft producers will, at the small business tent will be allowed. It's Building Expo. Every home needs a wine. You understand? My business, I believe that my business should have a voice there. You cannot develop Guyana with craft alone. You understand? So I am asking, so I said to them, let me speak to the person in charge. Oh, the person is always in a meeting. To this day, I have not gotten to speak to that person. So someone from Going West, Kigan, she messaged me and said, if you want to participate, the only spot you'll be allowed to get is the 200,000 spot. Mind you, initially they told me it was 15,000 where I wanted. That's within my reach. You understand? First they said alcohol wouldn't be allowed. So I said, would Banks and DDL be there? It's like, Mom, we cannot get into this with you forward. I said, fine, let me speak to who is in charge. So, to the persons who are related to this topic, I am seeking an answer. We have a good product, and we should.
Let me comment right here. Because as you speak, people on social media, they're looking on the text in me. And one of the texts I received is, I will approach the companies with duty-free concessions at the airport to carry forward.
Amen.
So help us. I'll give you more information later. So now, having said that, I'll ask Minister was going to address the matter. Right? So things are happening for you.
Thank you very much. I'll hold to that. Mr. Mark Phillips, I'm very public on social media, so thank you for that.
You know that you are a supporter in the small industry of tourism industry and commerce, which we call mixed business. And whenever we have our expos, we reach out to you and come and to give you the opportunity. And we will continue to do that. We have Cricket Carnival coming up where we have the Guyana night. You are always, because you're right, you have some of the best wines that there is. Your product speak for yourself. It's not even giving you preference, just you have a good product. And we do wish to support you. Now too, and as you have testified, we do that in our class in the Ministry of Commerce coming up this small business period. I know that your business is small business. But let me speak to the airport. The president has shared with me a vision for the airport where we have these billing kiosks for small business owners like yourself who come out to the Small Business Bureau and those small business owners, and your shop, your product will have the opportunity to be put there in the, and Bishop Edgell can, I don't know if the President shared that with him, but he can speak to this as well. At the airport, when it's completed, we will have a place for Guyanese own business. You know, like when we did the expo at the oil and gas, we had people out there. We will have a similar kind of arrangement. All Guyanese products, we will have a place to be there, to be displayed at the airport, permanently selling all of your stuff. Craft, wine, everything. So that shop that's a platform we call the Guyana shop. So you don't have to go on your own and try to get, well, I mean, you can when you become. But those places will be very expensive. The duty-free shops in the thing, but we are providing a space for people, entrepreneurs like you at the airport. So don't worry about that, and we'll keep you posted on when that is coming. Bishop can support me with that. With the Building Expo, Minister Crowell can speak to that. That is not under my remit, that is being run by the ministry. But just know that we continue to support your small business, and you will testify, and we are sorry for the run around that you feel, or if you feel that there was a lack of support. But wherever we be for Christmas time, you know, we reach out to you to get your wines out, to use your wines and give that out as gifts. So you know you'll be getting the support from government, and you, right, the president as well. He was the one who was asked that you make sure that you come out and that you are supported, and because you have an excellent product. So we continue to wish you all the best, and we continue to work with you, to give you the support that you will need. You and other small business owners like yourself.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. We'll have a say, and then we'll have the two questions, and we'll have to close there, because I know there are other people who are might shy, but will want to talk to me one-on-one and talk to me one-on-one. Okay? Right? So we'll be doing this for 3 hours now. Come, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you, dear. I'm sure the people of Buxton, as long as alongside this system, will be pleased to know that one of the things that we are remedying at the airport, by the expansion that we have undertaken since we came into government, is to answer exactly what is your concern. There are not enough spaces currently for concession areas, and that is the problem. So we are expanding the superstructure, which is what an agreement we had with China Harbor, so we will be able to put in more concessions. And secondly, like Minister Brown said, in the front of the airport, we are going to be putting in well-built, decorated kiosks where Guyanese and several small businesses will display and sell their products. Because the truth about it, if you're inquiring about the 200,000 building expo, you might be calling the airport management that will cost to rent the airport too, because concessions at the airport are quite pricey. So President Ali has indicated to facilitate small businesses a special designated area at the airport will be set up to facilitate small businesses. But I want you to speak with my staff, that the details, we'll set up an appointment, and we will discuss this matter further. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's have you quickly, sir. You have the mic in your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I just respond quickly on the bill next note? Alright, so yes, thank you. So you listen to Minister Edgell and you listen to Mr. Waldron. I will deal with your specifics directly when the meeting is finished, but since your listeners here that are not here, I must clarify on the Building Expo. Any expo that is being done has its focus. We just came out of the Agri Expo. You have Honor Minister Waldron's ministry, a number of expos that will be held. Before the year is finished, you have the Expo sometime before the year is finished. So you have to understand what each focus is for an expo. This is an international building expo. So obviously the focus has to be on building and construction. But if that within, there always has to be a section that caters for food court, because people have to eat. So there is one section that has food court, but one of the things that I met them, because they may have some misinformation when they started. And we're clear in who we would like to feature. So if you're interested in terms of targeting persons who are coming and participating, you can do that at the Food Expo section. But this certainly is not for agri or agro-processing sort of services. This expo is not for that. But you've just heard there are a number of opportunities that are available for you. There will be a lot of collaborative activities for you. Just like you, there are many persons who have been requesting similar opportunities to be able to sell their product. Alright? But I'll give your case one-on-one to see how we can interact and involve you in one way or the other. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Minister. Any further concern or question must be new issues. We've come a lot of them already. Don't let us go back a little from. And we're allowing 2 more questions. You are on the floor. And we have the young man on the floor there. As we walk up, we can deal with the others. Yes, go ahead.
What am I close to him out?
Minister of Development, Honorable Ministers. My name is Sidney here, returning migrant. 10 years ago, I submitted an application for a piece of land on the highway at the basin. To date, I have not been given. Is there any way I can answer that question yet?
Minister, Paul is here and Marcus is feeling the land and you.
All land matters of the suicide highway, those fall under the other land surveying commission. So we have staff here for housing that what I can do is come in, we'll take your application information and certainly we'll forward it back to GLSC, alright?
Let's take a look into the access road. It's terrible.
Just tell the staff a little.
Okay, sir. Thank
And my question to you,
let us all listen to Mr. Sowas.
My question here is what has been done to both private and public workers on salary increase? I know that the ministers are trying, and we would want to know what can be done to facilitate those aspects.
Salary for public workers. That is the government's responsibility. With regards to private workers, those are for the private enterprises. All we did, which we did recently, is to fix a national minimum wage. And that national minimum wage came into effect the 1st of July. So nobody working in the private sector will be paid less than $60,000 a month. Okay? As it pertains to the workers in the public sector, that's a matter that will be addressed by the government. Okay? And as soon as we finish numbers crunching and doing all our analyses, then we will make an announcement. Okay? Right? We have all the people parting here now. Everybody working, prices, everything gone up, but there are other measures that we took in place to ease the pressure. Today you have tax-free gasoline again. The price is going up, but we remove all the taxes. Okay? And these are some of the measures that we're using to ease the pressure. As it pertains to the increase in salary, as I said before, government will have to do their analysis and government will make decisions at an opportune time. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to everyone on the panel also. I am a Ministry of Health worker. I am currently allocated to the Georgetown Public Hospital. On July the 9th, I started working under the Ministry of Health. I was placed at the Ocean View Hospital and I worked there from September to April. I was then sent to Georgetown Hospital to work there for 2 years. I have sent in my appraisal and my contract since in April. As from July the 9th, I will not be paid no salary. I'm a single parent. The reason why I will not be paid a salary is all because my contract was not approved. I have colleagues that wrote exams after me and their contract was being approved. When I go into personnel department, all they have to say, until your contract is being approved, then you will be paid back a salary. My son goes to a play school, $9,000 per month. I'm a single parent. How can I survive and live? Working a 12-hour shift, making so many sacrifices, and just to hear that I will not be paid from July the 9th here, this same month.
Okay, thank you, people of Buxton. We had a long session, a long and productive session. This is progress. This is development. Thank you for listening to us today, and we've taken all of the concerns you raised, and we will remain in contact with you. As I said at the beginning, this is just the beginning of the process. And as Mr. My senior here said earlier, where Buxton goes, everywhere is goes, right? Okay? So this is just the beginning of a process that will go throughout Guyana. Thank you very much.